tens of thousands of people watching a golf tournament on YouTube. The final is being played. $1 million is on the line. The cameras are rolling from every angle. And then, right there, caught on film, one of the most recognizable faces in golf makes a move that nobody was supposed to see. She reaches down. She brushes the grass. She clears a path. And in that one moment, one single moment she probably didn't even think twice about, her entire world collapsed. Within hours, the internet exploded. Within days, she had disappeared. And for 3 full months, silence. Complete silence. No posts. No videos. No stories. Nothing. People wondered if she'd ever come back. Some people honestly hoped she wouldn't. But here's the thing about people who've been knocked down their whole career. Sometimes they come back looking nothing like what you expected. And when Paige Spiranac came back, nobody was ready. Before we go any further, if you love golf, if you love the stories behind the sport, the drama, the heartbreak, and the incredible comebacks, then this channel is built for you. Hit that subscribe button and become part of this golf family. It means everything. All right, let's get into it. To understand why this comeback hit so differently, you have to understand who Paige Spiranac actually is. Because most people think they know, but most people are missing the full picture. She grew up a competitive gymnast. Golf came later. She played at the University of Arizona, then San Diego State, and she was genuinely good enough to go pro. She competed on the Cactus Tour and won her first professional title in 2016. She even played in the Omega Dubai Ladies Masters on the Ladies European Tour. That's not a small thing. That's a real golf career. But the LPGA Tour never opened that door for her. And instead of quitting the game entirely, she did something that most people in her position would never have the courage to do. She turned the camera on herself and started sharing her love of golf with the world. Just being herself, unapologetically, at a time when golf had almost no female presence online. And it worked. Not just a little. Over 10 years, she built over 11.6 million followers across social media. She became the most recognizable name in golf outside of the actual tour. She was called the original golf girl. And for a long time, things are going exactly right. But here's where everything changed. In the summer of 2025, Paige Spiranac entered the Internet Invitational, a massive tournament. 48 golf creators and YouTubers, organized by Barstool Sports and Bob Does Sports, all competing for a $1 million prize. The kind of event that could define someone's legacy in the golf content world. Paige made the final. 6 players left, 3-on-3. Her team, herself, Barstool's Frankie Borelli, and Good Good's Melosi Tajasala, against Brad Dahlke, Cody Frank, and Francis Ellis. The entire golf internet was watching. And honestly, things were already tense before that final hole even started. Earlier in the match, Paige had gotten into it with Francis Ellis, essentially calling him out for not having real competitive golf experience. It was a moment that ruffled feathers. People took note. Then came hole 9. Cameras, multiple cameras, caught Paige reaching down into the deep fescue grass and brushing it aside, clearing the rough around her teammate's ball. It gave Tajasala a cleaner look at his shot, a cleaner angle, a better chance. And in competitive golf, what she did, improving the lie, is a rules violation. When the footage surfaced, the other team confronted her directly on the green. And Paige broke down. She started crying. She said she genuinely did not know it was against the rules. Her team, despite all of this, still lost the final on the 18th hole. They didn't win $1 million. They lost. But the internet didn't care about the loss. It only cared about the accusation. Wait till you hear what happened in the days that followed, because this is where the story gets genuinely dark. She was gone from social media for a reason. And when she finally broke her silence, her words were some of the most raw and honest things she has ever said publicly. The last week and a half, she said, is probably the worst hate I've ever received in the 10 years of me doing this. 10 years. And this was the worst. She talked about tens of thousands of death threats flooding her DMs. People telling her to end her own life. Messages so vile, so violent, that her team was seriously discussing whether she needed to file a restraining order against her own online following. Not one or two messages. Tens of thousands. Think about that for a second. She made a mistake. A mistake she insists was genuinely accidental, done with no cameras even on her mind. And the response was to threaten her life. Over a golf tournament. Over a rules infraction in a YouTube event. She was painfully embarrassed about not knowing the rule. She said that herself. She admitted it clearly. But the punishment the internet decided to deliver had nothing to do with golf rules. It was personal. It was vicious. And it broke something inside her. On October 24th, 2025, she went quiet. And the silence was loud. Weeks passed. Her Instagram hadn't been updated since a sponsored post. Her followers, for millions strong on that platform alone, were left wondering. Some were worried. Some were gleeful. And some, the real golf fans, just hoped she was okay. She would later open up about what those months felt like. She described being in a rut. A genuine funk. She said she was dealing with anxiety, that she was overthinking everything. She spoke about a love-hate relationship with golf itself. How the game had consumed her so completely that she didn't know who she was outside of it. Golf has completely consumed me, she said. And for the first time in years, she just stopped. 3 months. No content. No presence. Just a person trying to rebuild herself away from the noise. And then something happened that nobody expected. January 25th, 2026. Out of nowhere, she posted on X. No dramatic return announcement. No long statement. No emotional video addressing everything. Just a photo. And 2 words, life update. Then 3 more, I got bangs. That was it. A new hairstyle. Curly hair, a fringe, a fresh look, and one of the most understated human moments a public figure could possibly have after 3 months of silence. And the response? Hundreds of thousands of people reacted within hours. Comments flooded in. The power of a hair transformation is real, one person wrote. Major shift, said another. People who didn't even know who she was were stopping to say she looked incredible. Longtime fans were just relieved to see her back. It wasn't the comeback anyone imagined, but it was the one that mattered. And then, just weeks later, she dropped over 1,000 never-before-seen posts on Instagram. 1,000, all at once, like she had been holding her breath and finally let it all out. But here's where the story goes from comeback to something much, much bigger. While the world was busy watching her new hairstyle, Paige Spiranac had been quietly building something. On February 17th, 2026, less than 4 weeks after her return, the announcement dropped. She was launching Paige Company, a brand new media company built in partnership with Pro Shop, the exact same production company behind Netflix's Full Swing, the documentary that brought professional golf to an entirely new global audience. The same people who co-produced Happy Gilmore 2. The same team that now serves as the PGA Tour's preferred production partner. And Paige wasn't just a spokesperson. She wasn't just a face on a poster. She became an equity owner, a producer, a creative collaborator, part of the company itself. I've spent years creating content with just me, and sometimes my mom holding the camera, she said. I always look for someone I could partner with because you can just do so much more when you have help. And when I started talking to the Pro Shop team, they were just so excited for me to be me. Be herself. After months of being torn apart for being herself, the first major company to come forward wasn't asking her to change. They were saying, just be you. We'll build the rest around that. Chad Mum, the visionary behind Full Swing and co-founder of Pro Shop, put it beautifully. He said all the production tools, the studio, the distribution, all of it, are now Paige's tools. She walked in from the outside, and now she owns a piece of the table. The first project? A YouTube series with her as creative lead and on-camera talent. What comes next is anyone's guess, but the direction is clear. Golf's biggest online personality isn't just posting photos anymore. She's building a media empire. So here's the part that I can't stop thinking about. This was a woman who just months ago was receiving tens of thousands of death threats, who was anxious and broken and completely off the grid, who people had already written off, who the worst corners of the internet had decided to destroy. Not just criticize, not just hold accountable, but genuinely try to silence forever. And she came back, not with a press conference, Not with a perfectly managed PR response. Not with lawyers and statements and a brand consultant telling her exactly what to say. She came back with bangs and 1,000 posts and a media company. She came back as herself, a little different, maybe a little wiser, maybe a little more careful, but fundamentally, completely, still herself. And I think that's what this story is really about. Not the cheating scandal, not the death threats, not even the media empire. It's about the fact that golf, this sport we love, this bizarre, beautiful, infuriating game, has a way of bringing people back. Back to the fairway, back to themselves. This is why stories like this matter in golf. Because behind every great round, behind every viral moment, behind every swing you see on your feed, there's a real human being with real pain, real fear, and real resilience. So I want to ask you something, and I genuinely want to know your answer down in the comments. Do you think Paige Spiranac deserved everything the internet put her through? Or did the punishment go too far? Let me know. This is a conversation worth having. And if this kind of storytelling is what you love, if you want more of the real stories behind golf, the ones that go deeper than the scoreboard, then stay with this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're just getting started. See you in the next one.